You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
This is Chip Gilchrist, voice of the Kingston Frontenacs. You're listening to OHL Overtime, an in-depth interview show highlighting the players, coaches, and broadcasters from around the Ontario Hockey League who make the league so great, as well as in-person coverage of events such as the OHL Playoffs, OHL Championship Series, OHL Combine, and more, exclusively on the Armchair GM Sports Network. Here's your program host, Brandon Caputo.
Welcome into the final Friday Night Faceoff preview episode for the OHL regular season, right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network and OHL Overtime. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in on the video version on YouTube. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, smash that bell to stay up to date with all of our video coverage here on the network. And thank you to those that chose to listen to us on your favorite on-demand audio podcast platform. Make sure to give us a subscribe on whatever one you chose to listen to us today. I'm the host, Brandon Caputo, as always, going to look ahead to what should be a fun final Friday Night Faceoff here, gearing up for the OHL playoffs between the Windsor Spitfires and the London Knights in a bitter Western Conference battle. Canada Life Place going to be the site of it tomorrow night. One of the best buildings in all of junior hockey. Spitfires coming into town. They're going to be looking to hold the West Division title, currently holding the second seed in the West. The Knights fighting with the Sioux Greyhounds for home ice in the first round, and they're going to be tough 4-5 matchup. At the moment of recording this, obviously the Spitfires are 1 point up on the Flint Firebirds for the West Division title. Whatever team does not win is going to most likely be the 3 seed, with the Kitchener Rangers taking the number 1 seed overall in the Western Conference. So this game for Windsor is going to be big, obviously, with them trying to make sure they're the number 2 seed with home ice advantage over anybody not named Kitchener for the upcoming playoff run. And then London right now currently 1 point up on the Sioux Greyhounds. Those two teams are going to face each other, but again, it's just going to be based off of the seeding there with what team's going to get home ice between Sioux and London. So big one coming tomorrow night from Canada Life Place, as I mentioned. We'll have a post-game X Spaces as well, so make sure you tune into that on the Armchair GM Sports Network's X feed. You can join us then. But as far as today's episode goes, we're going to hear from a representative from both teams within Friday Night Faceoff. First, we're going to hear from Jack Nesbitt of the Windsor Spitfires. The Philadelphia Flyers first rounder is obviously an assistant captain now, taking a bigger role with this team in his third OHL season. Talked about at the OHL Draft that he wanted to come back to Windsor to win an OHL championship, and a guy that is very motivated here to do big things with the Spitfires, even though they're minus their star draft eligible forward Ethan Belchet's going to talk to him back at the OHL Combine. So it'll be good for me to catch up with them as well. A great chat with him. And then we're going to go across the bench to the London Knights side with one of the best stories since the OHL Trade Deadline. That's Ryan Brown, acquired from the Sarnia Sting in a big 1-for-1 trade there for Logan Howery. Two highly drafted players from their respective teams from Sarnia and London that are switched teams here, with Ryan Brown looking to get his first taste of OHL playoff experience in his career as well. So going to be interesting to chat with him about going over to London, how he's felt there, how his game's elevated to another level, and one of the best stories, like I mentioned, since the trade deadline. He's at an incredible run here with the London Knights and fitting in like a glove there with Dale Hunter's club. A team coming off 2 straight OHL championships, 3 straight OHL championship appearances. So a little bit of a retool on the fly here for Mark Hunter, Rob Simpson, and the group, but they're doing a great job here, having the London Knights almost in a rebuilding year for them, still as the 4th seed in the Western Conference. Pretty incredible to think about that London still could possibly have home ice advantage in a season where a lot of people didn't expect big things from them. As far as Windsor got reverse swept by the Kitchener Rangers, they went to the second round last year and almost made the Western Conference final. They were up 3-0 on Kitchener, and then things kind of just took a turn for the worse, with Rangers winning 4 straight. and in Game 7 to knock out the Spitfires. So they're coming in with a lot of motivation and wanting to get back to that spot that they thought they should have been in last season, going up against the London Knights in the Western Conference Final. But as far as tomorrow night's matchup goes, from Canada Life Place, we'll wrap up the regular season as the London Knights host the Windsor Spitfires. With the regular season entering the final weekend, both teams have plenty on the line as they push towards the playoffs. The pregame show begins at 6:30 with puck drop scheduled for 7 o'clock. Windsor enters the battle in the West Division as the Spitfires continue a strong second half push. The offense is led by Liam Greentree, the New York Rangers prospect, who tops the team with 36 goals and 69 points this season. The Spitfires also received significant production from the blue line. Carson Woodall and Anthony Cristoforo have been key members offensively, with Cristoforo reaching the 20-goal mark while seeing time both at defense and at right wing. In goal, overager Joey Costanzo remains a steady presence for Windsor. The veteran netminder recently reached 100 wins for the Spitfires and continues to anchor the Spitfires' crease as a team that looks to secure the division crown. London enters the matchup fighting for home ice advantage in the first round, as I mentioned earlier. Fresh off the Memorial Cup Championship back-to-back OHL titles, the Knights have continued to retool their lineup while remaining among the league's contenders. Los Angeles Kings prospect Henry Brstevich leads the London Knights defensive corps offensively. The Memorial Cup champion has produced 18 goals and 52 points from the blue line this season. Forward Ryan Brown, who's going to be a guest a little bit later, has been one of London's most productive additions since coming over from Sarnia. Brown has 21 goals and leads the Knights with 59 points, including 15 goals and 30 points since joining the club. Draft-eligible forwards Jackson Cover and Brady Waslin have also played key roles for London, each surpassing 15 goals and 40 points this season. In the net, the Knights continue to rely on a strong tandem. Vancouver Canucks prospect Alexei Medvedev shares the crease with Sebastian Gatto, who remains third in the OHL with a 2.31 goals against average, while also being fourth in the league with a .917 save percentage. With the Windsor Spitfires chasing a division title and London looking to secure home ice, plenty at stake as the postseason approaches. A new Friday night faceoff matchup is featured every week across Flow Hockey social media platforms. This is the last one of the regular season. You can also watch every game throughout the season on Flow Hockey TV and the Flow Sports app. Fans can watch the game and free on Flow Hockey's YouTube, X, and Facebook channels, as well as the OHL's Facebook page. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the pregame show, followed by the puck drop at 7 p.m. You do not need a subscription to watch Friday Night Faceoff. A Flow Hockey subscription is required to watch all the other games on the busy slate for the final Friday night of the OHL regular season. Windsor comes into the matchup with a 4-0-1 record against London this season, including a win just a few nights ago with an 8-2 victory over the Knights. That one back at the WFCU Center in Windsor. So the Knights will look to have better results than they've shown this season against Windsor in what could possibly be a playoff preview down the road in the Western Conference playoffs. Let's get you to both interviews right now with Jack Nesbitt of the Windsor Spitfires and then Ryan Brown of the London Knights. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed Friday Night Face-Off all season long. On behalf of the Ontario Hockey League, I've really enjoyed doing this project, and again, really appreciate everybody tuning in to the weekly preview episodes as well as the post-game shows on X. We've got one more, as I mentioned here, tomorrow night following this game, and it's going to be a fun one. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this, and going forward, appreciate the Friday Night Face-Off coverage, and we'll talk to you guys once the playoffs start. So here are the interviews with both representatives from Friday Night Face-Off between the Windsor Spitfires and the London Knights. Friday Night Face-Off goes tomorrow night. Windsor Spitfires, London Knights to close out the OHL regular season. Going across the bench this time to the Spitfires side of things, and we've got Philadelphia Flyers prospect Jack Nesbitt. Jack, really appreciate you joining us today. Obviously exciting times for Windsor, trying to lock up a top 2 seed there within the Western Conference going into the playoffs, getting drafted by Philadelphia. It's been quite the ride for you. I remember when I first talked to you at the OHL Combine as a young 16-year-old coming into the league. How does it feel now, almost 3 years into your OHL career?
Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago, but it feels like it was yesterday. Last 3 years have gone by real fast, and it's been the best years of my life so far. So I'm very happy I took this route, and Windsor took me in that draft. And no, I've met a lot of great people along the way, and like I said, it's been real short, but I've loved it so far. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you grew up as a Sarnia Junior Sting, and so now going over to Windsor, are you now officially a Windsor guy after spending almost 3 years of your life there?
I mean, I'm always gonna have those Sarnia roots in me, but Windsor's definitely been a second home for me, so I can say I'm a Windsor guy for now.
Are you a fan of Windsor pizza? Your goaltender Joey Costanzo said when he leaves after his OA season, he's definitely going to miss an Antonino's pizza. One, are you a fan of it? And two, what's your favorite spot?
I do love Antoninos. That's a great one. I personally don't get a lot of Windsor pizza. Um, but a spot you might not have heard of, it's Professor Zaz. It's one that Anthony Cristoforo and Andrew Robertson, his billets took them there, and then I went with them as well, and they make some unreal pizza there, great crust, and it's very good. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I'm sure you can't eat a lot of pizza as a being
Yeah.
a professional athlete as yourself, but when you can indulge, that sounds like a good spot to recommend
Yep.
it there. So I guess, going forward here, Jack, like you guys obviously have a lot of playoff aspirations. You talked at the draft. Somebody asked you, do you have any NCAA aspirations? And you quickly shot that down and say, nope, I'm coming back to Windsor to try to win a championship with the Spitfires. And it seems like you guys are on track to achieve some of those goals going into the playoffs as either the two or the three seed. Just you really didn't balk at that, and it seemed like Windsor was always going to be the option for you this season.
Yeah, 100%. I knew since last year that we were even gonna try to make a run last year, and we had most of those guys coming back. So I knew we were gonna have a good team this year, and we were definitely gonna add some guys like we did. And no, I knew we were gonna try to make a great run, and that's what we're on pace to do right now. So I'm pretty happy the spot we're in. If we win out here, we'll take first place in the division, and that'll be huge here. So hopefully we can do that.
Absolutely. And just talk about yourself and the progression and going through this league. You come in as a 16-year-old, which is not an easy thing to do. You guys go through a lot of adversity as a team that first year in Windsor. You guys are near the bottom of the standings. And then the last two seasons have really been an elevation for yourself and for the team. What do you think you guys learned going through that experience a few years ago to make the last two seasons, really special for you on and off the ice?
Yeah, that first year was definitely a little bit different. Um, it was tough for all of us during that season, but after that season, I just took it as going into the off season as do whatever I can to help myself get better for the next year, and we didn't know how good we were going to be the next year, but it turned out pretty well. So I'm glad we added some pieces that year and got a lot better. We got a great head coach, Greg Walters, and that helped us a lot. And then coming into this year, we knew we were just going to add even more, and Walters really helped all of us. He's a great coach. He has great practices. He shows us video, all that kind of stuff. So that helped us a lot, and we appreciate him. And yeah, we have a great team this year. So hopefully we can go far.
What is it about Wally that makes him such a great coach?
He's always making us work hard. He every time we make a mistake in practice or something like that, he's slamming his stick and yelling at us. We need to get better at this. We need to get better at that. And that's one thing that's great for us. If we have a little mistake like that, he's on us, and next time we do it right. So just little stuff like that, and even off the ice, he's always around us, being friendly, making jokes, and everyone loves him off the ice. So it's fun to be around.
Probably some good road trips that you guys in the West, you guys travel a lot
Yeah.
comparatively to some teams in the East. So do you sort of enjoy that camaraderie with the guys and those long bus trips to Sioux and even some of those Eastern trips that you got to make once a year to Ottawa and things like that? Like, is that something you're probably going to miss when you graduate onto the pros?
Yeah, 100%. That Ottawa trip that we take is probably one of my favorites. It's about 5 days, and we get to spend a day off in Ottawa, and that's really fun. This year it was at Christmas time, so we went to like a Christmas market or whatever you call that kind of stuff. So that was pretty fun. But no, I'm definitely gonna miss those long bus trips and playing NHL on the bus with the boys and stuff like that. So it's been an unreal time, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss some of those road trips.
Yeah. Do you have a good Steve Bell story? I know Beller's a beloved guy in Windsor, and
Yeah.
he's sort of is one of you guys. He would go to bat or go to war for any of those players, and he's very animated up there calling the games as well. Is
Yeah.
there something you can tell us about the Beller?
Well, there's a lot of things that go on with him, but I don't have any real good stories. But I know some guys do. On the bus, he's always chatting up the guys behind him. I never sat too close to him, but I know some guys that have. And no, he's great to be around. He's always energetic, and he's always getting on the mic on the bus, telling some jokes, stuff like that. So he's got some good jokes as well.
He somehow that hair is still perfect. I don't know how he does that. Wakes up and it's just right.
Yeah.
Off season activities for you, Jack. Obviously, it's very stressful for you going through the last 2 seasons, your draft year, and then your draft plus 1 year. What are some of the things you like to do away from the ice in the summertime? I know you're training a lot, obviously, during the off season as well. But what do you like to do to kind of get your mind off of things for a bit?
Yeah. Mostly golf. I'm sure a lot of guys say that, but it's one thing I love, and yeah, we try to get out a lot and with the buddies and stuff that I don't see often, and get a few rounds in. But I also go up to Muskoka for about a week with my girlfriend and her family, so that's a good time up there. But yeah, it's mostly just training stuff like that. Try to get on the course once in a while, but other than that, there's not much to do. So.
Is there a favorite course, and what's your favorite club to use?
In Sarnia, there's a private course, and it's called the Sarnia Golf and Curling Club. That's a great course. Go out there quite a bit. Um, my favorite club probably be my 60 degree. I like my short game and stuff like that, so it's fun to use.
Hey, that's the hard stuff, right? That and the putter.
Yep,
I mean, everybody
exactly.
everybody drives for show, but it's that stuff
Yep,
around the green that makes the difference. So,
exactly. That's what you got to work on. So.
and that's why I didn't become a pro golfer. I'm not good at the short game. But regardless of that, Jack, talking about a teammate of yours and Ethan Belchet's obviously what he's gone through at the end of this season and things like that, and hopefully might have him back for some point in the playoffs. But how have you guys sort of tried to help him through what's a very stressful time for him, possibly being a top 10 pick in the NHL draft? You and Liam Greentree have gone through draft processes as well. Like, how have you guys tried to help him out? And obviously, that he's got high hopes and high goals and things like that. So right now, while he can't be on the ice, how are you guys helping him as well?
Yeah, I mean, this year definitely got a lot tighter with him. We were on a line quite a bit with Christopher when he was up playing forward, and we got pretty tight there. But I try to talk to him a little bit, and I mean, he seems pretty comfortable playing this year and doing all the kinds of stuff like those questionnaires, the interviews. He seems pretty comfortable doing that. It's very unfortunate he got injured again right before playoffs. But hopefully we can get him back in playoffs or even at the end of it. That'll help us a lot. Um, but no, I think he's been great this year. He's been dialed in, and I think from now on he just gotta work on rehab and just keep those interviews going and just do what he can to get higher up in there.
What is it about those Windsor Spitfires? I feel like you guys prerequisite. You guys have to be like at least 6'3", all of your forwards. I mean, like yourself,
Yep.
Beethan Belchets, Liam Greentree, Ilya Protas last year. Like you guys just have a certain identity that the Windsor Spitfires type of like to play. So for a guy like Belchets, he's kind of fit into that culture with you guys.
Yeah, 100%. I think Bill Bowler did a great job in his last few draft classes and drafting big guys. So props to him. But no, I mean we're a big team and we want to play like that. I think we do that. We make a lot of big hits and with AJ Spellisy as well. I think he got number one best body checker and hardest worker stuff like that. So that's what works for us. And if we keep doing that, then teams might back down a little bit and we'll get more scoring chances, stuff like that. So that helps a lot.
Getting home ice advantage is obviously going to be huge for you guys if you can secure that over Flint there for the West Division title. But talk about the WFCU Center when it gets rocking in the playoffs and just how much you enjoy that atmosphere. The whole "Don't Stop Believing" thing coming out for the third period. Like
Yeah.
you guys as a team, like just kind of get goosebumps and get you guys pumped up when you've got one of the best home ice advantages in the league.
Yeah, it's unreal. I know a few guys on other teams that come in and they don't like playing in our rink because of the fans and stuff like that. So that's pretty sweet to hear. But especially in playoffs, they get real loud and it's unbelievable to play in. Every goal is like the game-winning goal, and you just get goosebumps every time you come out into that third period, and it's awesome. It's awesome to play, and I'm sure anyone you talk to that plays for Windsor says they love it there. So.
And then obviously, down the road, Kitchener is going to be a team you're probably going to have to go through. You guys licked your wounds from last year. How much are you looking forward to maybe getting another crack at them and hopefully having things turn out differently this time?
Yeah, I know they've had our number the past few years in the playoffs, but no, I think we got a good team to beat them down this year. Obviously, it's going to be pretty hard. It'll be tough for sure. But they got a great team, and so do we. So it's gonna come down to that, and who works harder and who puts more pucks in the net. So.
And talking about another good environment that you'll go into tomorrow night in London. You guys have had great success against London this year, 4-0-1, and you beat them 8-2 in your last head-to-head matchup this last weekend. So I guess what is the mindset going up there and trying to, I guess, just use that game as playoff preparation, a team that you could face, in the playoffs and things like that, and just using this final weekend of the regular season to get you guys ready for playoff shape?
Yeah, I think these past few games, that's all we've been doing is getting ready for playoffs, and having four guys out right now is a little tough, but that just gives the younger guys more chances to show what they can do and get them even prepared for playoffs and what they can do there. But yeah, we just got to take these next couple games like they're playoff games and get ready for that, and hopefully, like we've been talking about, getting first place and getting home advantage there. So that'll be huge.
And then lastly for you, Jack, is like at the post NHL draft interview, you talked about, 2 or 3 years of development for you, wanting to go back to Windsor to win a championship. So I guess what are the Flyers sort of looking from you, and what are you expecting from yourself here as you've gone through your third year and going into playoffs? Like, what is your, I guess, if you can describe it, your personal goals that you're trying to maintain and take another step in your development as a player on and off the ice here?
Yeah, I'd say throughout this year is just it's just be an all around good player in the D zone, in the O zone, neutral zone, everywhere, and lay some hits, put some pucks in the net, do everything right. And one of the biggest things is face offs, and I've tried to work on that the most I can this year. And I think our coaches have done a great job and helping us in practice, after practice, dropping pucks, stuff like that. So that's been huge, and I think. The Flyers just want me to keep working, put on some more weight, stuff like that, and that'll come for sure. That'll even help my skating, my shot, everything. So once I do that, and everything should come together.
So last question, lighthearted question. I don't want to put you on the spot. If you don't want
Yeah.
to fill out a teammate, you don't have to. But best and worst sewer players on the Windsor Spitfires.
Oh, um, I don't want to point him out, but I'd say the worst might be Belches. He's got a real heavy foot, and he uses his knee a lot. He's got this one move that he uses, and he's gotten better throughout the year, but he might be the worst. And the best top three usually is me, Kennedy, and Costanzo. They got those two lives, so that helps them a lot. Um, but no, those are the top three. It comes down to those three a lot. So
Those goalies.
I know, something different.
Hey, he's in his overage year. He better be good at it. He's been playing it for 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's Jack Nesbitt, forward of the Windsor Spitfires, first-round prospect of the Philadelphia Flyers. Jack, really appreciate you taking the time again. Great to chat with you. Like I said, full circle from the OHL Combine days that we spoke there, and best of luck down the stretch going into the playoffs with the Spitfires, and look forward to continue to see you guys maybe win a championship this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Fourth Wall is the official merchandise supplier of the Armchair GM Sports Network. Our user-friendly site is print to order with no minimum items or inventory needed, shipped right to your doorstep safely and efficiently from their North American warehouse. All of our logos are available to supporters, listeners, and viewers can have the best variety available to them for their swag preferences. All items are priced as low as possible, allowing everybody who wants to support our business with the opportunity to do so, receiving quality and comfortable products in return. Shop today at fourthwall.com with the direct link to our Armchair merch store in the description of all episodes and in the bio of all of our social media accounts. Become an Armchair GM today with Fourth Wall.
Hi, this is Mike Stubbs, radio voice of the London Knights. You are listening to Brandon Caputo on OHL Overtime.
Friday night faceoff goes tomorrow night. London Knights, Windsor Spitfires in the final week of the OHL regular season. We're here going across the benches to look at the upcoming matchup with London Knights forward Ryan Brown. Ryan, really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. First off, getting revved up for playoffs, getting excited for what's to come for your first experience in the Ontario Hockey League playoffs. Just how has that whole transition been going to London, and how do you feel now? As you guys reach an important time in the season.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here. And I think me and our team were super excited to get started with playoffs and get into the postseason, some meaningful games. And I think for me, like you said, it's my first time in playoffs, so I'm super pumped, super excited to be in that atmosphere, be in playoff hockey.
Did you have any familiarity with any of the guys when you got over to London there, and maybe some of the leadership that helped to bring you in and get you engraved into Knights Kingdom there, and has obviously led to your success? Like, were there any guys that you knew or that helped you make that easier?
Yeah, I think being on Sarnia, I played against London a ton, so I've been playing against some of these guys for 2.5 years, so I'm familiar with them on the ice. But off the ice, I went to school with Cover for a bit, so I knew Cover before, but other than that, everyone else was pretty brand new other than playing against them. So it was good to meet some new guys, and they welcomed me pretty well. So
Cover also being another draft eligible guy, how exciting is that to go through a process with somebody that you're familiar with and the guy that you're sort of close with?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially Cover, pretty cool story, and some other guys like Gosselin and Max and Mitchie. It's a lot of us that are in our draft here, so it's pretty cool to watch all of us grow, and a big important year for all of us.
Talk about, I guess, your success since going to London. Over 30 points in 30 games, over a point a game. It seems like that change of scenery really helped you, and you were one of the better stories in the Ontario Hockey League coming out of that trade deadline. One of the players that's succeeded the most in changing teams. What do you think has been the biggest impact in your game taking another step here?
Yeah, I think like you said, it's been a great fresh start for me, and I think the guys around me have really helped me out a ton. I give a lot of my credit to them. Like, come here, play with some mature players and guys who've gone to OHL championships a couple times, some older players. So it's been really helpful to play with some experienced guys, and they've helped me out a ton.
A little bit about your older brother, Aidan. He now plays professionally in Germany, a couple years older than you. So I'm sure you were the little brother that had to take those battles growing up, playing mini sticks or things like that. What has he meant to you, and how has he sort of helped you during his 4 or 5 year career in the OHL with Barrie, maybe when you were a little bit younger?
Yeah, he's been everything for me. He's look up to him since I was a kid, my role model. And like you said, going to his games all growing up, playing AAA hockey, and Barrie's just 30 minutes from where I live. So I got out to every home game, go watch him. It's pretty cool. Go down to the room, be with the guys, kind of have like a little bit of a foot in the door and see what it's like at such a young age. Helped me out a ton, and having him by my side helped me out and teaching me pretty much everything I knew and growing up playing hockey. Like, he's been huge for me.
How much do you sort of stay in contact with him? He's obviously in another continent playing hockey professionally. How often are you able to get to call him or maybe see him in the off season?
Yeah, I think if you check my phone log, it's my parents, and then he's definitely first. I probably talk to him 10, 20 times a day and talk to him all day after my games. He stays up. The time difference in Germany is like 5 hours, and stays up to watch all my games and call him after the game. So it's pretty cool.
Was there a moment when you were growing up that stands out to you, maybe a hockey memory of watching him play in the OHL, or a certain game, or just a certain thing that sticks out to you?
Yeah, I think, like I said, like after a big win or in playoffs or something, it's kind of different having a younger brother. You can kind of bring him down to the room. So I'd have his jersey on, go down to the room, be with all the guys. And I think just like in the summer, the guys always come to our house, or being, like I said, 30 minutes. Like, I'd have a AAA game with York Simcoe, and I'd have like 10 of the players come to my game to come watch me. And I think it was pretty special to be so close with all those guys.
Absolutely. Talk about yourself. I went back and watched your OHL draft interview that you did. You're a lot older looking now than you were back then, but you described yourself as a competitive two-way forward, hardworking, playmaking, high IQ hockey, and make everyone around you better. Do you still have that same feeling? Is there anything that you've maybe added to your game when you came in the OHL and had that first initial, I guess, self-describe of yourself?
No, I think it's kind of stayed the same. Like, that was my game going into the OHL, and I think it stayed the same, but gone up a couple notches, I think, and getting a little bit older, heavier, a little bit taller. I think I've been able to add a little bit more physicality being a little bit older in the OHL, and I think it's really helped me out a ton.
How has, I guess, I don't know how often players look at this in their draft year, the central scouting list and things like that. I know coming into the year you were a C grade, which is sort of like a 4th to 5th round pick. One, do you look at that? And two, how do you sort of motivate yourself to say, you know what, when my name's called in next June's draft, that I want to be higher than what these people may value me as?
Yeah, I think it's hard to not look at some of the stuff when it's already on your phone, but I think it's a good test and a little bit of a chip on your shoulder when you are your C to start the year and then not on the midterm. And then I think the only thing that matters is playing hockey and going far in the playoffs, and then that stuff off ice will sort itself out and just control what I can control. And then at the end of the year in June, if I hear my name called, it's from putting my head down and just working.
Talking about the coaching staff, Dale Hunter, and everybody there, they've developed so many great players to become pro hockey players. How has getting into that coaching staff helped you? And what do you think that Dale really wants to see from you continue to develop so that you do make yourself more available when it comes to the draft and just being the best player you can be by the end of the year?
Yeah, I think coming here, I was super grateful to come and play for Dale and Mark and all the coaches here, Steady and Dilly. And I think the numbers and stuff don't lie. I came here and they were at World Juniors. So when I showed up, they weren't here yet, but they're at World Juniors for a reason. And they're been there a couple times in championships and Mem Cups. And I think it goes to show when you come here and you see it firsthand why, and it pays off for sure. And you see how they are every day at the rink and stuff. And you see why they're so successful and why they're such a high-level coach.
Is there something that you enjoy doing away from the rink, maybe during the season or in the off season, just to kind of clear your mind from hockey, because this is your full-time job right now, and trying to just make sure you have some downtime and just, I guess, refresh for the pressures of what can be of a draft season?
Yeah, I think during the year it's go. There's 68 games and it's tough to have a ton of free time. You're always practicing and games and stuff. But I think the biggest is just like hanging out with the guys on the team and getting together after practice or on a day off, hanging out during the day, getting food or getting up to something. But just hanging out away from the rink and building that chemistry away from the rink really, really adds and really pays off on the ice.
Were you always a hockey guy? Was there anything else that you enjoyed playing? Multi-sport athlete. I know there's a lot of lacrosse players that play hockey and things like that. But for Ryan Brown, was there any other sports that you enjoyed playing growing up?
Yeah, I played hockey and lacrosse growing up. So I played hockey from 5 years old, and I started lacrosse at the same time and played lacrosse the whole way up until grade 9 and 10. I played at St. Andrews and Culver was there with me and played there and won 2 championships there. But yeah, just lacrosse and hockey in the winter the whole year. And then once hockey season's over, lace up the cleats and play lacrosse for a couple months during the summer. Why
do you think lacrosse sort of helps hockey players? I know it's a lot of crossover with those two sports there. Why do you think it sort of helps you for hockey as well? Maybe the physicality or just the way the game's played?
Yeah, I think box lacrosse it's on a hockey rink on the concrete, and it's pretty much the same stuff, same D-zone stuff, same O-zone stuff. And I think the contact at such a young age, there's cross-checking and you can fully hit when you're like 8 years old playing lacrosse. So I think being in that environment at such a young age, and then like the hand-eye stuff has been huge in lacrosse, and just like everything, staying active during the summer, running all the time, playing lacrosse is really huge.
Talk about what it's been like to be the home team at Canada Life Place. You talked about going to battle with these guys for a few seasons in the Sarnia Yellow, and now going back to Sarnia as an away player. So how have those two buildings sort of changed for you, one being now your home arena and one being the away?
Yeah, I think it's my first time getting traded, and it's weird going back to your old rink. My first 2 games were in Sarnia, so it's pretty weird. But yeah, being here, scoring against London on Sarnia is all booze and silent. But then when you score here in front of 10,000 people cheering and stuff, it's pretty special. And it's obviously one of the coolest rinks to play at in the CHL. And I think every night coming out here, and our fans are always here supporting us, it's really, really special.
Talk about you got Windsor coming up tomorrow night. I know, the 2 times you've played with them with London haven't necessarily gone your way. What do you guys have to do to kind of have success tomorrow night and kind of use this as a good lead up for the playoffs, because it's a team you could meet down the road in a 2nd or 3rd round playoff matchup? So how are you guys sort of approaching a big game like that in the final week of the regular season?
Yeah, I think the last game against Windsor didn't go how we planned and how we wanted. So just put it behind us, put it in the past, and focus on this Friday against Windsor. Really focus on playing the right way and stuff. Like last game didn't go as well. So I think it's how we we respond to last game and how we bring it on Friday. And I think, like you said, they're a really good team, and we could face them deeper in the run. And I think going into playoffs, teams want to get hot. So I think it's big for us to get some wins going into playoffs and feel good.
You guys are in an interesting spot right now in that 4-5 matchup. It looks like with London and Sioux trying to battle for that home ice position in that matchup. So I guess what is the mindset of yourself and just the team in this final week of the regular season and the gear up for obviously what's to come next week, but trying to get a home ice in that always exciting 4-5 matchup?
Yeah, like getting home ice here in London would be huge. I think, like you said, it's a pretty big home ice advantage playing here in front of all these fans, and it's tough building to come in and play. I know firsthand playing on Sarnia, it's tough to come in here and play here and play the right way when you're getting cheered on by 10,000 people and stuff. But I think for us to just focus on us and focus on the next couple of games to end the year and pull ahead of them and go into playoffs having that home ice advantage.
Quick final few questions for you personally here, Ryan. Who's your sort of favorite player growing up that you've sort of tried to model your game after, and maybe somebody that you really look up to in the next level?
Yeah, I think the next level, like I think in watching my brother play, being around all those guys, there was a lot of amazing players he played with, like Svechnikov, Mangiapane, Morgan Frost, Tyler Tucker. So looking up to those guys, being off ice with them, seeing their character and stuff off the ice and what it takes to get to the next level. I think looking up to them was really big to see firsthand what it takes to get to the next level. And
you don't have to give me the worst if you don't want to call it one of your teammates, but best and worst Sewer players on London.
Oh, I'd say there's a couple of good players. I think Henry's pretty good. Funk is good. I think the worst has got to be Van Gorp for sure.
How's Max Crete?
He's good. He's pretty good.
He's a scrappy bulldog type guy, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's not a liability in the Sewer circle. He's good.
Absolutely. There's Ryan Brown of the London Knights. Ryan, really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Best of luck tomorrow night against Windsor, and best of luck in going to be your first OHL playoffs this season, and all the best, obviously, with your draft year as well. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, unreal. Thanks for having me.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.